Good evening and welcome to our Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show on Bay County TV. Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala. Just seems like yesterday, Coach, we were together. Oh, wait a minute, we were.
I was just about to say a long time no see. And we go about 5 months without seeing each other, and we're back together back to back. So it's good to be up north in Pinconning, Jeff.
Well, always a pleasure to come to the home of the Spartans, and tonight the Spartans have got a tough opponent in the Beaverton Beavers.
Yeah, the Beavers are coming in at 4-1, Jeff, on this kind of suspended type season. Only loss is to a pretty tough Clare team. So you know the Beaverton Beavers, we used to watch them during our days at WKJC, and always got good talent, solid girls, and going to be a tough test for the Spartans tonight.
Well, Clare and Beaverton are the two perennial teams in this league. They played a very close game. Clare came out on top. Clare played Pinconning in the first game of the year and won by about 40 points. But when you look at where Brad Werner's team has come from week 1 to week 9 to week 3, they're 1-4 on the season. But they have continued to get better, and he's pleased with their progress.
Well, and you know what? And that's all you got to do. You try to get better. You work your way to that district tournament. You get better every game. But, Jeff, you look at that roster right there. They are loaded with a lot of underclassmen here in Pinconning. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 freshmen, 3 juniors, and 2 seniors. So you're getting some young kids, some experience at the varsity level here in a really good conference in the Jack Pine. So they're going to pay their dues, but in the long run, it's going to pay off.
Well, when you look at this number here, that should be part of a junior varsity program, but unfortunately, if you take that away, you've only got 5 girls left, so you're running thin both ways. So Brad says, I am going to play every girl for at least a minute or so in every game. I want them to get the experience and grow up and the exposure, but boy, there's no substitute for those girls playing 30 minutes at the next level down this year.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have that JV squad and get those girls some playing time, but as I always say, you got to dance with the girl you came with, and so you're going to have to play a lot of freshmen against a very good team. But you know, you look down the road, you got tonight, and then you kind of just look down the road a little bit. This is going to be good for these 6 freshmen to get this experience at the varsity level.
Well, and I think in one word tonight, the key to the game is going to be tempo.
Yeah, and you know, in the Beaverton Beavers, they're going to get up and down and up and down, and you're going to have to try to feel them out. You know, the Pinconning, we've seen a lot of up and down with them. You might see a little half-court offense. Keep the ball out of the Beaverton Beavers' hands so they can't score with that prolific offense.
And they got to hit the glass. They got to keep Beaverton out of that transition offense.
Keep them out of that transition offense. Get out there and challenge every shot. Blocks out. Get a body on somebody and either get a fast break or come down, set up in that half-court offense.
Coach, you're back in your comfy zone here. It's basketball season. That about puts the wraps on our Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show. Back with all the game action in just a moment on Bay County TV.
At Covenant Healthcare, we lead with the most advanced technology. We lead with the most experienced, comprehensive medical and surgical teams. We lead with partnerships to teach our future doctors and with organizations who help us bring world-renowned care close to home. We lead because our patients are at the center of everything we do. Covenant Healthcare, extraordinary care for every generation.
Good evening and welcome back to our game on Bay County TV. Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala along with you. Nick Page is doing the cameraman, executive, producing, directing. He's got it all going tonight. And Mike, you already see one of the changes because of COVID starting off. Visiting team always gets the ball to start the first half.
Did not know that, Jeff. So thank you for enlightening me on that new rule change.
Well, as the game goes on, we'll talk about quite a few of the other adjustments that the officiating crew has had to endure. Great defense by Pinconning, shutting off the baseline. That shot goes up and in from number 10 on the play, and that's Maddie Paul with the first deuce of the ball game.
Nice job by the offense for the Beavers, Jeff. Good patience. Beavers will come out in a little man-to-man. No, they're going to go matchup zone here early in the first quarter.
I think by going matchup, they're going to have to beat the defense with the skip pass.
Yep.
How about that with an answer at the end? Victoria Stark with the nice little deuce inside floater from 5.
Yeah, nice job by the Spartans. Good patience, recognizing that defense, Jeff, and getting a hoop early here in the first quarter.
Shark looked very comfortable indeed, too. And again, there's a huge key, one and done. And a travel, just looking for an outlet. And your guards have got to know when one of your forwards get that ball, you got to come back and verbally make yourself available.
You got to, as an ex-point guard, you got to let your rebounder know where you're at by any way you can and get it up the floor.
Ooh, how about that? My favorite rebound in basketball, the backside seal off. Down on the baseline as they fly that ball into the middle. Nice little soft turn on high percentage shot for Gauthier. Could not get it to drop, but that's the kind of shot you're looking for. Good active hands defensively twice. And the Spartans get the turnover. Like the way the energy of the Spartans going early.
Nice job by the Spartans on defense, Jeff. Hands high. I was watching the game last night on TV, and they were talking about one of the defensive teams in the NCAA. Their hands were down. This time you saw the Pinconning area Spartans hands high, making it tough for the Beavers to pass the ball over the top.
Tied up at 2 with 2 minutes into the first quarter, so a lot of deuces going on in this game early.
Deuces are wild, my friend.
As Pinconning is really frustrating the Beaver offense early on in this game. And a pass underneath. Really, the pass went to a spot where the player had not established himself yet. Number 14, Killian, was still floating to the spot and it sailed over her head and out of bounds.
Yeah, it's good defense by the Spartans, Jeff. Kind of confusing the Beaverton Beavers here early in the first quarter. Looks like we're going to get a little flex action by the Pinconning area Spartans against that man defense.
You love the flex only because that tells you that you got patience and just a beautiful shot. Shark couldn't get it to drop, but again, very nice. And again, back to the spot defensively. And an errant shot. One and done has been that theme early on.
Nice defense by the Spartans, Jeff. Let's see what they can run here. They like the flex offense early here in the first quarter.
Another great look by the Spartans, unable to get that shot to drop, though, but Rainey Wilson with a nice opportunity, and they're getting good looks.
Yeah, they are getting really good looks, Jeff.
Early on, too, like the way the officials are letting the girls play. As a nice high-low entry pass for an easy deuce.
Dude, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Coach, I'm not thinking like you already? Oh, my.
Little high-low. Here we go with the flex offense again. Got to have good spacing right there. One thing about the flex, Jeff, as we talked many times before, it's not the greatest. It's not the most sexiest offense in the world, but you got to play defense, and you've got to have good spacing on the flex.
Well, when you get the spacing, the thing I like about the flex, you make the defense expend energy.
Yep.
Second shot missed. Third opportunity for the Spartans, and they can't get it to drop. A+ for effort early on, though, just not finding the bottom of the hole.
They're getting a lot of good looks at it, Jeff. You're right. It's just not going in the well right now.
But we've played almost half of the first quarter, and it's still 4-2. Let's go into the hole nice with a shot that drops. And Bea Herner gets the deuce, and she'll go to the free throw line to finish off the three-point play the old-fashioned way.
Herder doing a nice job taking to the rack, Jeff, and kept her head up, the chin on the rim, as they like to say, and she's going to be rewarded with a possible three-point play here with 4:07 to go in the first quarter.
The shot is up and good. Why, Coach, is something so easy so tough? By keeping the chin up, you probably triple your chances of making the basket.
Yeah, keeping your eye on the basket, and when you drop your head, you have a tendency to drop the ball with you. So you got to keep your chin on the rim, watch it all the way through the basket.
Listen to Brad over there, just working hard. That pays dividends. We're going to see coast-to-coast finish here for the
Nice jump stop right there.
Spartans. She just kind of sharp, let the defense float by, stop, put it off. Use that expensive piece of glass behind the rim.
Love the jump stop too, Jeff. Just jump stop, went up off of 2 feet. Nice, kissed it off the glass for a big basket.
There's another loose ball, and you're going to have 2-on-1. This girl's not going to beat her to the spot. Comes up a little bit short. The hustle down the court. A second shot opportunity. Now we're going to have a jump ball.
Yep.
Off the alternate possession, goes right back to the Spartans.
Good call by the official down there on the baseline, Jeff. Substitution for the Beavers. Going out for the Beavers is number 4 is Sawyer Giroux.
As Jason Hubble's got to be a little frustrated from the Beavers standpoint early on, as they have not been able to make things happen offensively. What a great looking lane to the hole. Backside rebound and the putback for the deuce by number 21, Haley Sinnick. We got a timeout on the floor. The Beaverton Beavers are in a little disarray right now. How about the start for the Spartans? We're going to take a quick break and be back in a moment on Bay County TV.
AAA Transport and Limousine is the Great Lakes Bay region's most reliable and requested transportation service. For over a decade, we have been helping our clients to get to their destination on time, in style, and comfort. AAA's services include non-emergency medical transport, wheelchair accessible, school transportation, and shuttle services. We strive to provide exceptional customer service and tailor our fleet to meet your individual needs. Rest assured that you are in safe hands when you ride with AAA Transport and Limousine. To set up your next appointment, give us a call at 989-893-8294.
Back here on Bay County TV, how about a very energetic, enthusiastic, smiling at the moment, loving the effort, head coach of the Pinconning Spartans.
Oh, I'll tell you what, great start by the Pinconning area Spartans, Jeff, against a very good 4-1 Beaverton Beaver team. Defensively, they're doing some nice things, hitting the offensive glass down there, 9-4 with 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
And not the way you drew that play up out of the timeout. And you know as a coach that's frustrating.
Oh, man, you call a timeout to try to get your kids regrouped, and they come out and do something where you throw the ball away. Keeps you up at night, and as you can see, gave me a lot of gray hair.
Spartans back into the offensive set. Shark a little off balance, can't get the shot to drop. Boy, great seal off on the backside from Paul. Down the floor. Shot is halfway down and unable to finish. And it's going to go back over. You see, from an official standpoint, when Jeff don't teach his new officials, when the ball goes out of bounds, the hand goes up, and you yell the color. You do not point, because too often your brain's going and you're going to point the wrong way. You don't need to point if your voice carries like it should. Boy, a nice job jumping it. She'll be able to finish coast to coast. She stopped. She tried to jump stop, and Shark said, I've seen that move before. That ain't going to work.
Maddie Paul with a nice steal, Jeff. She anticipated that cross-court pass, jumped into the passing lane, takes it all the way down. She's going to shoot 2 free throws for the Beaverton Beavers, down 9-4 here with 2:20 to go in the first quarter.
Well, that's the first anticipatory pass that the Beavers have stolen. They're starting to catch on to that skip pass, and they jump that passing lane very effectively.
The Wizard of Oz, Ozzy Cavazos, always says, fake a pass, make a pass when you're trying to go cross court. So when you fake that pass, you get the defense going one way, then make the pass the other way. So, and you know the Wizard, he was really good at preaching that.
The Wizard, and you and Spielhopter, that was a trifecta of fun coaching at Central back in the day. As the ball goes back up top. Ooh, they got an offensive foul away from the ball.
A foul away from the ball, a little hook, little back, and then trying to establish post position, Jeff. So good call by the official. That's team foul number 2 on the Spartans here in the first quarter.
9-6 again. Just under 2 minutes left in the first. As the Pinconning defense been pretty tough. Shark just got her hip into the middle of the action, and Had she not fallen to the floor, probably wouldn't have been a call.
Good defense again by the Spartans, Jeff. And, even though they're playing a zone offense, you still have man principles. You try to get it to the open spot, cut the open spot on the floor. And again, good hands by the Pinconning area Lady Spartans.
And, people are all yelling travel there. If you don't palm the basketball and you maintain that dribble, that ball can go up. It can do 100 different things. The fans just don't always understand that. What a nice shark floater there in the lane for the deuce.
Shark with a nice drive to the basket. That's a tough shot, about 6-8 feet in the lane in front of the basket, Jeff. I think that's the toughest shot in basketball.
That's a huge shot for the Spartans, too, as the Beavers were starting on a roll. And
40's tough for the Beaverton Beavers. Molly Giroux is she's tough on the glass.
Nice closeout defensively by the Beaverton Beavers. Just thinking about the 3 ball again. Show patience offensively.
Nice again. Good give up right there by number 10 for the Beaverton Beavers, Jeff.
Unselfish.
Maddie Paul, really good look. And she knew she was there. She just had to make the right pass. Did a great job.
Well, since 2-0, the first lead of the ball game for the Beaverton Beavers. Unforced turnover again, and that's probably the one phrase that Brad doesn't want to hear tonight. With 12 seconds left, they got to go. You got to get down to court with 7 seconds left. Long 3 ball, halfway down at the end of our first quarter. It's the Beaverton Beavers 12, Pinconning area Spartans 11. Back in a moment for the second quarter on Bay County TV.
Village Towing and Auto Repair of Kaukaulin and Bay City is here to help you in your hour of need with fast and friendly service. With over 30 years of towing experience, we know how to get the job done quickly and safely. From big to small, we do it all. Give us a call at 989-684-9607 for all your towing needs.
Back on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and Mike Guasdala along with you. Nick Page producing, directing, filming as we look at the Brain Trust at the scoring table. Off the alternate possession, the first possession of the second quarter goes to the Beaverton Beavers. As that skip pass comes through, they're trying to take a page out of the book from Pinconning earlier.
That young lady's a player for Beaverton, number 10, Maddie Paul. She does a lot of nice things, Jeff. Good-looking player for Beaverton.
Well, she anticipated that skip pass, squared up her feet, and let it fly.
Yeah, and I was going to say most likely a senior, so when you see somebody playing like that, and I was correct, Maddie is a senior for the Beaverton Beavers, so this is not her first rodeo here in the Jack Pine Conference.
And again, they're just coming off that game last week. Perfect entry pass, backside defense got a little bit lax, and great recognition for the easy, quick deuce.
Good, crisp pass right there, Jeff. If you didn't throw that thing hard, put some zip on it, that wouldn't have been very successful.
There's another cross-court pass, and again, one and done as the Spartans really tough on the boards. As one and done at the other end for the Pinconning area Spartans. But again, love the aggressiveness. Look at Paul going to the basket. Little out of control with that shot, and that's why she didn't get bailed out with a foul.
Good defense right there also, Jeff, by the Pinconning area Spartans. Verticality, as you like to say. Ooh, oh, they got some nice rims here. I'm surprised that didn't go down.
Soft with 3 times the iron, but no cotton at the end.
Kind of reminded me of the old Tawas area Braves gym, the old gym.
Oh, yes. And there's your girl, Paul.
Yeah.
Again, when she squares up, she is definitely their best shooter.
Yeah, and she's always on the side of where Herner is, Jeff. She's kind of keeping her. They got to keep an eye on her. They know she's the player.
How about
Nice
that
shot.
coming off a nice little
Another
screen
nice
with a
shot.
little 12-footer.
Well, Victoria Sharp's a good-looking player for
Yes.
Pinconning also.
One of those players that they really didn't know a lot about coming into the year and having to step up. Extra pass for the easy deuce.
Nice job by the Beaverton Beavers, Jeff, going to the baseline and coming on the backside on the penetration with a little bounce pass right there. Nice job.
As the defensive pressure comes out, there's the nice pass underneath, trying to dribble and make some room. Stepped on the baseline. Nope, they're going to have a foul on the baseline. I got it on Giroux.
It's her first, Jeff, team foul number 2 for the Beaverton Beavers. 19-15 here in the second period. 5 minutes and 32 exactly to go here in the first half. Good first half. Both teams playing very well.
Entry-level pass up at the top of the key. Here we go at the other end. A little bit over-aggressive, and they were able to save it, though. Slide it around. Boy, and that was surprised Paul didn't take that shot. Backside rebound, easy putback. Nobody there sealing off on the backside.
Nice job by Paul. Good cut by number 40, Jeff, for the Molly Giroux, cutting to the free throw line, finding the open space on the floor.
At the other end, ooh, little shuffle of the Tootsies prior to going up. That one could have been a turnover. Tough for an official to see, though, as he's racing back. That's right in front of him. You almost get straight lined by that.
Little run right now by the Beaverton Beavers, Jeff. They're on an 11-4 run since the end of the first half.
And that's a good timeout for Coach, because down 8 right now, you want to try and keep it at single digits. We'll take a quick break and be back in a moment on Bay County TV.
Inside, outside, or even in your home, there are lots of ways to enjoy amazing food from Bay City Bills. Our dining room is ready for you, and so is our new outdoor seating, both meeting current state guidelines. And we are ready for you with takeout too. Stop in to Bay City Bills at 1215 Michigan Avenue, or find us on Facebook or at www.baycitybills.com to see our full menu.
Back on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and Mike Guasdala along with you. Nick Page filming tonight as the Pinconning area Spartans down 8. Got to work their way back into this game.
Yeah, Jeff, the defense really got them off going in the first quarter, but Beaverton has figured out that 2-3 matchup zone and has a nice run going here in the second quarter.
There's Paul laying it up for a 3.
And a lot of your favorite rebounds tonight, that backside rebound.
Just rid of it in time. Nice deuce that time for Rainey Wilson.
Boy, the Pinconning area Spartans needed that hoop right there, Jeff. A little 11-4 run right there by the Beaverton Beavers.
Boy, and that's a rainbow, and that goes up over the top. And that ball will go back over to the Pinconning area Spartans.
In for the Spartans, number 20 Schultes and number 22 Gauthier.
So Coach Brad has been able to keep his troops fresh, doing some great substitutions, and hopefully that pays dividends in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, when you got a short bench like that, Jeff, you're going to get a lot of girls with a lot of playing time.
Boy, that was a nice entry-level pass. Get out of the paint. Good job. You hear people call 3 seconds. If you're not a factor in the play, you're not going to find a lot of people calling 3 seconds. If you're in the lane and you're a factor in the play, then their 3 seconds is a little bit more applicable.
Yeah, and if you're in there starting to fire pitching intent and getting the Coco Vianas out, you're gonna yeah, that's right. We'll be there.
Boy, look at the verticality defensively. A little reluctance to take that open 3 ball in the corner for the Beavers as they go with a skip pass. And how about the tenacity of the Pinconning area defense forcing an unsolicited turnover?
Yeah, coming out with under control, Jeff, with the glide stance. Hands are high, doing a nice job. And Coach Werner over there doing some coaching, letting them know about that, getting out there and challenging those offensive players.
Great opportunity, and look at the hustle getting to the ball. Another shot opportunity. Trying to run down the middle. The shot comes up just a little bit short. As the Pinconning defense gets back, very good to stop transition. And again, good verticality. We're going to have a jump ball off the alternate possession going back to the Spartans.
And you're right. They're doing a nice job keeping their hands straight up in the air, Jeff. And I learned that from you. You may bump into each other and you're both off the ground with the verticality rule. That's not going to be called every time.
And verticality the last 2 years has really become a point of emphasis. Yep. It rewards great defense. Into the offensive set again come the Spartans. Into the corner. They're going to call 33 red, I believe. And that'll be Augustine.
You know, yeah, you just got caught behind, Jeff. Now, if the ball's above the free throw line, you're on that side of the for post defense with the arm in front. If the ball's below the free throw line, you're below the block playing post defense. So she just got caught behind this, giving a little shove.
Good recovery as that pass looked like it was sailing. Herner gets the ball now onto the wing to number 21, Scenic. And they got to work to get open. Another great look. Fight for the loose ball, and now it will be a jump ball back to the Beaverton Beavers with $1:54 left in the first half.
Nice set play right there by the Pinconning area Spartans, Jeff. Instead of taking the screen, she went to the baseline, and then the screener slipped to the free throw line. So that's one of the 2 options on that play.
Still only a 6-point deficit for the Pinconning area Spartans inside 2 minutes left of the first half. The skip pass to a wide open. Squares it up for Paul, and she just buries it.
What a nice pass. I'll tell you what, give number 40, Aubrey Giroux, great job. Put that pass right where a shooter wants it.
Again, great shot opportunity using the glass, just unfortunately it didn't drop. Paul gets that ball back up to Giroux again. Nice little triangle out front as that shot goes up. A rainbow from number 20, Alexis Grove.
And what's the old rule? When you get the ball, you always look opposite from where you get the ball, Jeff. Somebody's got to be open. The ball can move faster than the defense.
A little bit strong. And we're going to have red ball with 47.8 ticks left, and Beaverton up by 11.
They do a nice job of finding the open player, Jeff, the Beaverton Beavers. That skip pass is really, really effective against that 2-3 matchup.
This is a big possession here. If the Spartans can get a stop and a basket and bring it back to single digits here going into the half. But I think the Beavers are going to be a little patient, make sure they get the right shot. Nice closeout on Paul.
You got to keep an eye on her. Remember where she's at.
There they go, another closeout. And that's traveling. Good, very nice.
Good help defense right there, Jeff, by number 22 for the Pinconning area Spartan, Georgia Gauthier. Nice job coming down there and helping.
So you get the stop, but then at the other end, you cannot get the points you've given. Unforced turnover, and another one. And 11 just turned into 15 in a hurry. Ball out of bounds. Ooh, I don't know about that.
About a second went off the clock, but.
As they're going to take their entry pass and shoot. Giroux with the shot at the buzzer, no good. At the end of the first half, it's 32-17. The Beavers over the Spartans. Back in a moment to recap the first half, set the stage for the second half on Bay County TV.
Over the years, he's put his heart into being your dad. He was always there to fix things. Now that he needs help, don't lose hope. Covenant Center for the Heart is leading the way in minimally invasive heart options for inoperable or high-risk patients, with the first and most comprehensive structural heart disease program in the Great Lakes Bay region. It's extraordinary heart care, close to home.
Back at the half here on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala along with you. And this is the first half where the Pinconning Spartans had as good a start as they've had all year long.
Yeah, Jeff, they really did come out and play very well. Defensively, their hands were high. They were very active, got a lot of easy baskets, and they were only down 12-11 there in the first quarter. But the bugaboo got them at the end of that second quarter with a few turnovers and a lot of quick points by the Beaverton Beavers.
Maddie Paul, you can tell, is the shooter for this team. They know how to get her the ball, and she knows how to receive the ball, have those feet square, and let it fly.
And they're doing a nice job against that 2-3 matchup zone. The Beaverton Beavers are, Jeff. They're skipping it. They're getting it to Maddie Paul, and she's hitting a lot of open jump shots. But also, Jarrell's doing a nice job. When Paul misses, you got her rebounding it and getting a lot of easy baskets. But that little stretch down there at the end of the first half was a really tough one for the Pinconning area Spartans. Now they're down 15, and you know what? That's tough to climb out of. But we've talked many times, you can't get it all back at once. You just got to work at it and try to get it down to double digits at the end of the third quarter.
Well, the 11-4 run by Beaverton to start the second quarter and the 6-0 run to finish really were a couple ones that'll be tough for Pinconning to get back from.
And that really deflates you. You played really well there the whole game, and that little stretch right there, those little peaks and valleys is how you recover from that. Don't try to get it all back in the first 4 minutes here in the third quarter. Work your way back in it, get it under double digits, get yourself back in this game and see what happens in the fourth.
Well, and I watched them. I refereed the first game of the year against Clare with Pinconning. They have progressed mightily, and when I talked to Coach Brand before the game, I said, Coach, you can only check from where you started and where you're at now. And I said, your team is a lot better. He said, Jeff, I couldn't agree.
Well, and just think, they're 1-4. Just think if they were playing their 16th or their 17th game right now, how much better. So this is a different year, and it's been stressful on the coaches and everybody. So they're taking it one game at a time. I know that's an old cliche, but you're not playing 17, 18 games this year. You're going to play half that, but you got to be happy with the progress that you have at this point in the season.
Well, it should be an exciting second half. Let's see if the Spartans can make a comeback down 15-1. Back in a moment for all the second half action right here on Bay County TV.
So your car is getting towed and you're not sure where to take it? Try Village Towing and Auto Repair. Our expert mechanics are here to help assist you with all your repair needs. We have over 30 years of experience with motor vehicles, so you know you're getting the best work that you can find. Stop by the shop at 2377 South Huron Road in Coquitlam, or give us a call at 989-684-9607.
Back and ready to go here in the second half. Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala along with you. Nick Page is doing our camera work. Now, you see something different? The arrow didn't switch at the half because the home team automatically gets the ball to start the second half because the visitors got it to start the game.
There you go.
So there's another one of the changes.
You're just a compendium of knowledge,
well,
my friend.
As shot goes up, a nice high percentage look. Unable to finish, and stepping on the line are the Beavers. So that's a great start for the second half. The Spartans with another free offensive possession.
We saw the flex early in the first quarter, Jeff. We saw it coming out here today. We didn't see it much after that for the Pinconning area Spartans.
Another great look halfway down the hole and out for Rainey Wilson. Paul brings that ball, free throw extension, sends that thing off into the left-hand wing. A near steal. As Herder just about got it. That shot goes up, and is errant shot by number 11, Mungan. Again, one and done as Pinconning doing a great job on the glass. Nice skip pass now with the entry level. Spin around, good look, and the shooters roll with a friendly rim.
I love those soft rims, man.
Boy, and that's a huge basket to start the third quarter for the Pinconning area Lady Spartans.
They needed that. Well, I thought she grabbed the foot there a little bit, but referees didn't call it.
And the shot is missed on the play by number 20, Alexis Grove. At the other end, great job. Go to the hole and finish. Unfortunately, didn't make the shot and didn't get the foul call. Chiro does a nice pull-up.
That's a good shot. Read the defense, Jeff. Everybody in a white jersey was below the free throw line. That's when you just pull up and hit that little 10-footer. That's a great shot.
And again, that 10 to 12-foot jump shot is so hard to make. You have to have great touch. There's a 15-footer and all the touch in the world. Victoria Sharp with another beautiful deuce.
Good-looking player. She can go inside. She can go outside.
Pinconning really starting to shoot the mid-range jumper with a little bit more confidence. Chiro going strong to the hole.
So one of the things that Pinconning, I just noticed, Jeff, that on the defense, when somebody's cutting across the lane, you got to chest the cutter. You got to put your chest on the cutter with a hand up in the passing lane. So she has a difficult time getting across there. You just can't let somebody go across like that without putting the body on them.
Well, and when you're moving across, as that first free throw goes in, it's the offhand that has to be out so you don't create a foul situation.
Yep. You know, and the referees, you may bump them, but it's not a big bump. You just got to make sure you got the hand in the passing lane and you're putting the body on somebody, making it difficult for them to get across. Not trying to stop them, but just trying to make sure they got that hand in the passing lane.
Both ends of the free throw good by the Beaverton Beavers.
Comes the flex again.
They're moving the ball around. Nice skip pass, nearly stolen, but a little spacing. And there's no push off there.
Nice.
There was separation. There's a difference.
That's nice. We'll pull up. Like that shot.
That's a confident, again, another 10, 12-footer right in the paint. As the Beavers are holding on to a 13-point lead, but they're having to work for it. There's a beautiful block by the Pinconning area Spartans. As they come down, triple right here would bring them back to single digits. As they try and roll that ball around again, showing the patience. Free throw extension, shot won't go. Giroux with a big rebound, gives the ball right up to Paul.
Paul with the nice defense right there on Herner, Jeff.
So again, good defense, knocked the ball out, couldn't quite corral it to force the turnover. And up top, they do a three-person screen, and there could have been a little tootsie shuffling. That ball goes off the Beaverton Beavers, though, and down 13 with possession. Again, an opportunity to bring it back to single digits.
Yep, and again, Jeff, they're just about halfway through, and that's where you want to be. Get it down to single digits here in the third quarter.
Again, patience offensively. And another excellent shot.
Patience on offense, Jeff. Always two passes, but they got a nice look. Good screen down on the cut up during the flex offense.
Rain Wilson with that last deuce for the Pinconning area Lady Spartans. And again, when you run that flex, then you limit your opponent's offensive touches.
Yes.
And you make them work hard defensively, which hopefully pays dividends. Got a whole lot of officials in the stands again tonight. And the Spartan defense causes another turnover.
And you make a great point there, Jeff, on that flex offense. If you keep running that 2, 3, 4, 5 passes, eventually that offense is going to be inside the paint, and you're going to get a good shot. Or they're going to come out and challenge, and you'll get somebody open on the flex cut on the baseline.
Did you just hear that last whistle, Coach?
I did.
That's the new handheld whistle.
Oh, was it?
That's another COVID thing that some officials are going to this year. I don't care for it. Nothing better than putting a little air in the whistle, and that's what I enjoy doing. So that's what I continue to do. But the handhelds have become more popular. Shot just a little bit long. Another good look for the Spartan offense. So down to 3:20 and counting left in the third.
Oh,
Paul up top, squares up the feet, toes up to the line and lets it fly. That's huge.
The scouting report's all over Maddie Paul right there, Jeff, and you just cannot let her sit on anything like that. Like, she got just too good of a look.
Oh, great job. And another offensive opportunity coming for the Spartans.
Got the end of the game for number 12, Rain Wilson.
Inbounding the ball again for the Spartans. Great look, nice shot. Unfortunately unable to finish was Gauthier. How about that? Before you get up, dribbling the ball to keep
Curly
the turnover. Certainly. The old Globetrotter move. We're going to have a jump ball off the alternate possession. We'll go back to Beaverton. 2:43 left in the third. 14-point lead. Late sub coming in for the Spartans.
Into the game, number 11, Mackenzie Elf, another freshman. Coming out will be number 10, Herner, for the Pinconning area Spartans. 2:43 here in the third quarter.
And Brad Wiener does a nice job of getting the 1.5 minute blows for the kids. As the shot is missed, Giroux with the putback inside, though, sealed off her defender. Really, the only way you could have stopped that was to foul her.
Yeah, and bit the basketball, Jeff. Didn't get it down below her waist. Kept it, bit the basketball, got the easy basket. Us little guys like it when the big players put it down low so we can go after it.
Thought about the trifecta. And now they got 5-on-4 if they hurry. And another steal by Giroux. Yep. She wonders, what did I do? Well, when you lose control of it and you regain control of it, you got to almost just tip that thing away.
And Giroux did a nice job down here defensively, Jeff. She had the proper hand up in the passing lane. And when you do that, it kills the ball, it dies down, and you push it forward, and then you can go get it in the transition game.
As that ball sails out of bounds. Get a little miscommunication by the Spartans, maybe trying to force that thing into the paint.
Herner back in the game, Jeff, for the Spartans. Out number 21, Haley Chonick, the junior for the Pinconning area Spartans.
Again, 16-point deficit with $1:45 left in the third. And we're going to have a Beaverton timeout. We'll take a break and be back in a moment on Bay County TV.
We see this every day. As the region's leader, Covenant has the best emergency and trauma team for adults and children. Because on an ordinary day, you just may need the extraordinary.
Back on Bay County TV with under 2 minutes left in our third quarter of play. It's 41-25. The Beavers of Beaverton Lady form over the Pinconning area Lady Spartans.
Well, Jeff, the Spartans got it down to single digits, and then the Beaverton Beavers went on a little run right there, and up 16 with $1:43 to go here in the third quarter.
And they get the ball down into the corner. Nice entry-level pass. You get the ball that deep with somebody that size, they're going to score.
Coach Hubble called the timeout. Jeff set that play up from the sideline out of bounds, and you could hear him over there saying, good, 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 and he was very proud of his girls for making that play.
We're going to have a jump ball off the alternate possession back to Pinconning. That's where Coach was frustrated from Beaverton. The previous time out, they threw the ball away.
Right.
This time they executed the play, and it ended up in an easy deuce.
Yeah, and that was well run, and
you taught me that
up
a long time ago, Coach. Watch those plays out of the timeout and see what they draw up and if it's successful or not. That's where games are won and lost.
Well, when you're calling a timeout, Jeff, you're calling it for a reason. Are you calling it to slow the other team down, or you're playing bad, or you just want a timeout to set something up and get a quick basket? And that's what Coach Hubble did right there. Set play, got the easy basket. basket for the Beavers.
Well, and it puts you up 18, too, and there's a little different level of comfort zone when you're up 18 points. Giroux trying to go to the basket. She goes up a little bit strong. The ball is out of bounds. As the Beavers get the ball back. Another substitute for the Pinconning area Lady Spartans.
Baker in for number 11, Mackenzie Elf. We've got 57 and a half ticks to go here in the third quarter. Good
travel. Thank you. Good call by the official. There was contact, but there was a travel before the contact. So the contact didn't cause the travel, therefore, nice progression. Is again signaling to his other two officiate mates that we're less than a minute left in the first. One dribble too much, trying to get that into the middle. Another high percentage shot for Sharp, unable to finish. Look at Giroux running the floor, looking for the soft
She gets rewarded for running the floor like that, Jeff. Nice job by Paul throwing that little bounce pass for the easy basket. 45-25. 15 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
Giroux shows that hard work does pay off, and a layup at the other end. And an unforced turnover gives the ball back to the Beavers. This coach, Brad, doing a great job continuing to shuffle the troops and trying to keep them all as healthy and fresh as they can, get valuable minutes. This is the time of year where you need to do that. Giroux can't get the shot to drop at the end of the third quarter. It's Beaverton Lady Beavers 45, the Lady Spartans of Pinconning 25. Back in a moment for the Final Eight on Bay County TV.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
Back here on Bay County TV, start of the fourth quarter. Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala along with you. Nick Page filming tonight. The Panthers, the Spartans have got a little bit of a hole they got up here in the fourth.
13-8 third quarter for the Beaverton Beavers, Jeff. Right there is the 45-25 lead for Beaverton here starting in the fourth quarter.
As the Spartans go into the offensive set, win the fourth quarter. I think that's what Coach Brad's got to preach to his girls right now as they continue to get better. They've actually played a very good game against Beaverton. They just gave up a couple of runs.
Yeah, you go back to that run in the second quarter, run in the end of the second quarter, and a little bit of a run here in the third. And, you know, that's the difference in this ball game, Jeff.
Herner and Paul battling against each other. As that ball goes down on the baseline. Nice little stutter step, drive to the hole. Fight for the ball, and good perseverance, pulls it away. A little strength by the Pinconning Lady Spartans. Ball partially deflected by Giroux, who's had a great game as well.
She's played very well for the Lady Beavers tonight, Jeff.
Oh, I thought they had a timeout. I don't know if he called the coach's box warning, but you get 28 feet over there. He was well within his parameters.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that was, or if he was he might have stepped on the floor, just told him to be careful not to. I don't know.
I don't believe he did, but anyway. There's Paul again. Halfway down on the trifecta, can't get it to drop. Fight for the loose change. Paul muscles it to Giroux.
Nice
Extra pass underneath for the basket to number 33. Augustine. 22-point lead right now with 6.5 left in the ball game for the Lady Beavers. Great move, great spin move.
Another good look.
Soft roll, but not able to finish. Look at Giroux with a little dish after the penetration, but a great one and done rebound by Gauthier. And an errant pass trying to force the break there a little bit. And Paul stepped into the passing lane. Paul to Giroux, now into the corner to number 20. Grove with Alexis getting the deuce. Now the Beavers are starting to pull away a little bit, up 24 with 5:50 left of the ball game.
Still trying to run the flex offense are the Lady Spartans, Jeff. Just got to take their time, get the right cut.
And again, there's again another jump of the passing lane. Look at the hustle back on the other end of the floor, though, by the Lady Spartans. Off the alternate possession, it'll go back to the Beavers, but good hustle by Pinconning to get back defensively.
Into the game for the Spartans right now, number 12.
Rainey Wilson.
Rain Wilson, senior.
And again, great substitution patterns for Coach Brad. As we got a foul on the floor. Doing a nice job getting the rebound is Leah Mungan. Ball inbounded. Nice rebound. Another opportunity. Stepped on the line, and it'll be Spark ball.
Jeff, while we got a minute, I want to thank some of our sponsors tonight. Covenant Healthcare, AAA Transport, Village Towing, our good friends over at Bay City Bills. Eberhard's Sign Works, official sign maker for Bay County TV, and Shirts, Mugs, and More, the official apparel provider for Bay County TV. Thanks so much for jumping on board on this crazy season, and we certainly appreciate their support, and hopefully we can get some spring games in here and come back in the fall and have a full season with lots of folks around us.
Well, and I'm thinking we're going to have a full spring of sports too, so we'll see what's going on. But something else that you see tonight are the officials handling the basketball. If one of those three officials does not feel comfortable handling the basketball, none of the three get to handle the basketball. Has to be an all or nothing, and most people still want to handle the ball because too many things can happen when you don't hand the ball over. As a great extra pass for the deuce, and the basket by Shark.
Yeah, nice cut by Victoria Shark to the basket, Jeff, and a good look on the pass. And she's going to shoot one free throw, going to earn it the old-fashioned way.
And just like you said, Coach, you look opposite, and you got yourself a nice little layup and a shot at the free throw. Oh, how about a 4-point play? Better than a 3. The old-fashioned way.
Good job right there by the Pinconning area Spartans.
So
sneaking in there and getting that easy hoop.
We're back to the even mark from the end of the third quarter. So win the fourth quarter and just couldn't get rid of that pass and recognize that who was heading down the floor. It looked like Rain Wilson was heading down the floor. And she was looking to finish. Ball back to Paul. The other thing you can tell, Coach, through this game is with limited fans here, it's a bit quiet in the gym.
We're not used to that.
We're used to a loud and raucous crowd.
And being loud and raucous.
There's the extra pass. A nice, soft shot from number 33, Augustine.
Kayla Augustine's with the left hand. Jay, again, that tough shot, 10 feet right in front of the basket, Jeff.
As the Spartans run the offense, boy, That got just to the spot about a half a second too late. Could have been a layup. But again, another good look.
Man, you can't complain about the looks they're getting tonight for the Lady Spartans, Jeff. They have done a nice job. Ball, some days it just does not go in for you, and you just got to work your way through that and get to practice tomorrow the next day and just work on some things. But they've done some nice things tonight. It's a very good team.
And when you look back at the films, all a coach can ask for is that the quality shot is there. Whether it goes in or not is a bonus. You're taking the right shot out of the offense.
And you know what Lefty Franz always told me? He didn't care if it didn't go in as long as it was a reboundable shot. A good shot is a reboundable shot. If it goes in, great. If it doesn't, make it reboundable. Put the soft touch on it so the big fellas down underneath can get the rebound. I always remember that. He would always say, good shot, even though it didn't go in, but it was a good reboundable shot.
Double iron, no good. Well, the good thing about Lefty, even though he was a great coach, he had just a tad bit of talent through the 70s at All Saints.
Just a few. Had a few guys that could play.
Few really deep trips into the tournament.
Yeah, he's a couple 27-1 back-to-back state championships there.
The shot is missed on the play, goes out of bounds, and it'll go back over to Pinconning with 3:07 left. Yeah, that era of All Saints basketball through the early and mid-70s was as good a basketball as this area has probably ever consistently seen over a 7-8 year stretch.
It was fun to be part of. It was fun to be part of it.
Into the offensive set again. Continue to show patience. Nice look. Again, unable to finish for number 21, Sinek. As we're down to 2:45 left, a little weave going on up front there. Now going underneath, the pass just a little bit behind, and we're going to have a hold.
Well, you take a look over at the bench over there, Jeff. Maddie Paul is, I'm going to say she's going to be done for the evening with the big lead. And she had a terrific game. And really, you look at Victoria Shark for the Pinconning area Spartans. She's been a good player for the Lady Spartans tonight.
As they try and move that ball around the horn again. Got to get it out of the corners so you don't get doubled. Looking for a passing lane. There you go. You got to go to the basketball, find that lane. The pass out was a little bit low and tough to handle for Elf.
Coming out of the game, number 23, Victoria Shark. Jeff, she played a whale of a game tonight for the Pinconning area Spartans.
As we're approaching 2 minutes left in this contest. Strong to the hole, and I'll tell you, once she dipped that shoulder inside the defender, she was on her way to the hole, not going to get stopped.
Mungan's only a sophomore too, Jeff, so she's got 2 more years and getting some good quality time up here on the varsity.
So they're going to take their time offensively with $1:40 left. 54-31. As the Lady Beavers are just going to show a little patience offensively and not be in a hurry to make anything at the hole.
Woo.
There's the shot. Unless you get that backdoor layup.
I saw that coming. Yeah, that's why I went, woo, she's wide open.
$1:15 left in the game. 56-31. The Lady Beavers over the Pinconning area Lady Spartans. Rebound and the putback with a beautiful shot that time. Sinek.
Haley Chonik.
Sinek gets the triple. Then Beaverton steps on the line going in. And again, with a minute left in the fourth quarter, they've got a three-pointer away from tying this score in the fourth quarter, and that doesn't sound like much. Those are little things to win on.
Yeah, Haley Chonik coming off the bench does a nice job for the Lady Spartans, Jeff. She's only a junior, so she'll be back next year for Pinconning area.
Ball kicked, and we'll go back out of bounds in front of the Lady Spartan bench.
Talk about the upcoming schedule. Will be next game. We'll be right back up here in Pinconning for the boys game against Harrison on a couple days away.
What a great entry-level pass. Nice soft touch over the defender. Perfect position. Never brought the ball down. Soft kiss off the glass.
Hit the basketball, Jeff. Didn't get it down by her waist. Georgia Gauthier. She's had a nice game tonight for the Lady Spartans.
Little travel.
Walk.
So with a basket here, the Spartans win the fourth quarter. They're down 21, but again, their maturation continues to show here. Compared to the start of the season, this is a much better basketball team. Yep. As the Beavers just taking their time, Grove out front dribbling and incurred the 5-second count. Now gets a little separation. She might just do a little curly kneel and run out the clock here herself. And that's what she's going to do. And that's all there is.
There isn't anymore.
The final score in the ball game, 56 for the Lady Beavers and 35 for the Lady Spartans. Back to put the wraps on this one in just a moment on Bay County TV.
AAA Transport and Limousine is the Great Lakes Bay region's most reliable and requested transportation service. For over a decade, we have been helping our clients to get to their destination on time, in style, and comfort. AAA's services include non-emergency medical transport, wheelchair accessible, school transportation, and shuttle services. We strive to provide exceptional customer service and tailor our fleet to meet your individual needs. Rest assured that you are in safe hands when you ride with AAA Transport and Limousine. To set up your next appointment, give us a call at 989-893-8294.
Back at the post-game show on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and Mike Guasdala along with you. And this is a ball game where Pinconning showed a lot of really good things that they're at least on track this season.
You know, Jeff, they came out there in the first quarter, did a really nice job, started strong, was down to 12-11 in the first quarter. Then they had that little run by the Beaverton Beavers midway through the second quarter in that 6-0 run right with about 10 seconds to go at the end of the second quarter. So that was kind of a bit of a bugaboo, but, you know, they really did some nice things. I thought they played defense really well. And Victoria Shark came away as the high scorer tonight for Pinconning with 16 points, and I thought she played a whale of a game for Pinconning.
Boy, I look at Paul and I look at Giroux as two players for the Beavers that were really difference makers tonight.
They are really good basketball players. Paul can fill it from the outside, so can Giroux. But, you know, Giroux runs the floor really well, does a nice job. She's solid on the inside, great outside shooter. And, you know, you got seniors like that on your basketball team. They can help with the younger players.
And when I look at Pinconning tonight, although they did not fill it up like they want to, the quality of shot that they took means that they are understanding the offense and taking the right shot opportunities.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They got some really, really nice looks at the basket, Jeff. They just weren't going down. And, you know, everybody who's ever played the game or anybody who's ever coached the game, you're going to have nights where you couldn't hit a bull in the butt with a banjo, or you could be sitting in the boat on the Saginaw River and you couldn't throw it in the river. So it happens. It's one of those nights, but you know what? You keep working on it. You look at the film, you find the good things, you work on a little bit of the details, and Pinconning's going to be okay. And remember, they're 5 games into the year with a whole bunch of freshmen on there, 6 freshmen, 3 juniors, and 2 seniors. So, you know, it's a growing period right now for Pinconning, but I thought they did a nice job tonight.
And I think Coach Brad has the right demeanor to coach this young team, because, you know, Coach, there's a time to kick them in the butt and there's time to give them a hug, and he seems to really have found that balance so far with this group.
And when you're dealing with young freshmen like that, Jeff, at the varsity level, sometimes you have to change your coaching philosophy from team to team. Not every team can handle it. Some teams can handle getting yelled at. Some teams can't. You got to pick your right way to handle these kids, and I think you're right. They got the right coach for these kids. They're young, they're learning, learning, they're listening. You can tell they're getting better from when you saw them the first time, and that's the most important thing. Just get better and work on the things that you can work on, and hey, who knows what happens when districts rolls around. Everybody's 0-0 at that point.
Well, and I think that's one of the tough life lessons in basketball. You can't take getting yelled at personally.
No.
But it's so easy to do. Your human nature says, oh, he's attacking me. He's trying to make you a better player. And when you understand that, you take that criticism a whole different way.
Well, and like I said earlier in the broadcast, I had the opportunity to play for Lefty Franz. And when you play point guard for Lefty Franz, you usually took the brunt of the yelling at, but you got to let it go in one ear, out the other, hear what he says, understand what he says. But the minute that starts affecting you, then you're lost. And every player is different, every coach is different. You just got to handle them certain ways.
Well, Coach, you brought your A game again tonight.
Thank you, brother.
A lot of fun sitting next to you.
Back at you.
So on behalf of the whole crew, I'm Jeff Doan along with Mike Wasdala, Nick Page, making it all happen again tonight. Boy, we're just a couple of days away from being back in this gym to watch the undefeated Pinconning area boys Spartans.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to watching the Spartans and getting back up here to Pinconning.
Have a great night, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
We'll see you again.